Hey guys, hope everything is going well. You guys know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH underscore sports. Follow me on my finance channel at AIH Finance. Okay, so I'm over at Sotheby, or not Sotheby. This is news.artnet.com, and this is relevant, in my opinion, to potential, keyword potential, market manipulation at the auction houses for sports cards. And this is what I see going on in the art world. In my opinion, this is hanky panky. And some people may consider this manipulation. Some people would be like, no, it's not. There is debate to that, okay? And this is saying a hack has revealed what many long have suspected. The owners of the auction houses are also some of the best customers. After a leak reveals Sotheby's owner Patrick Drahi's extensive art purchases, some say he should have disclosed them earlier. I've been very particular in the collectibles arena, specifically sports cards, saying that, hey, the conflicts of interest need to be disclosed. If you're buying from your own auction, you should disclose that. If you are selling an item and you work for the auction house or you own it, that should be disclosed as well. And I believe in some auction houses, you could bid for the items out there. Now, it depends on some of the stipulations. I think Golden Auctions, there's some stipulations out there, if I remember correctly. Heritage Auction, I believe you can do whatever you want. So you could be selling if you work there, you could be buying, based on my understanding, based on me reading these terms of services. And a few other auction houses as well. I believe Leland as well. Don't quote me on it because some of the terms of services may have changed, okay? So we're looking at this information. It looks like there was a hack, and in this hack, what ended up happening was some information got disclosed that the owner of Sotheby was actually buying some of the artwork there from their own auction house, right? And I do believe that Sotheby does allow that in their terms of services. So there's no foul play out there, technically, right? Now, ethically, that is the question. And if you look at this, this question was even posed in the article. Aside from the curiosity and gawking and cringing at the hacking and blackmail, because that's what happened, there's information out there that a hacker got, and then he was blackmailing the CEO. And then it says the revelation sparked a question: is buying from your own business at publicly high prices tantamount to market manipulation? So that's the question that everyone's asking. A. Alfred Tubman notoriously bought at Sotheby's when he owned it privately, and later when he became the majority shareholder of the public company. This became evident when his estate was sold at the Sotheby's in 2015, with works by Vincent van Gogh, Picasso, Henry Moore, and many others previously purchased at the house. Christie's owner, Francois Penault, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, is known for guaranteeing art at Christie's, whether to build his collection or prop up value artwork that may have no other buyers. Keyword, no other buyers. One of these is said to be the Roy Lichtenstein nurse, which fetched $95 million in 2015, remains the pop artist auction record. The Russian owners of Philip have done the same, according to people familiar with the company. To me, an auction house owner anonymously buying from their auction house can be market manipulation, as it creates the appearance of more market appetite than there actually is, said Natasha Degin, chair of art studies at the Fashion Institute of Technology. But it's not so dissimilar to guarantees. Both help prop up prices and project success to external audiences, mainly the public and the media. In my opinion, this is deception, but once again, it's perfectly legal because it's disclosed in these terms of services, from my understanding. which is messed up in my opinion. Now, this goes to sports cards. So I did a video about potential money laundering and how people may be engaging in the hanky panky at the auction houses. I got some responses, some pushback from it, but I do believe there's hanky panky going on in regard to money laundering. Not only money laundering, it's in my opinion that some of the big wigs are pumping up their own auction houses, right? Can I prove this 100%? No. But this is just my gut feeling. And I did a video with P. Ryan Collection. I'm going to post it here, some clip. And in this clip, what P. Ryan is implying, for instance, some of the sales on the PWCC auction house were not the typical collector. He was implying that some of the big wigs, I don't know who, were buying up these prices. We're buying up these cards. So maybe someone from another competing auction house, maybe from PWCC. I have no idea. But P. Ryan is well connected with people out there in this industry. And the fact is, if he's saying with confidence he feels hanky panky is going on, I would listen to him and what he has to say. He's very truthful in what he has to say. And I'll let you listen and you can decide for yourself whatever you think happened. But anyways, guys, I hope you have, for those that are in the United States, hope you have a nice Thanksgiving weekend. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.
Yes. Speaking of some of these high-end cards that you're mentioning, you did a good Instagram live stream about PWCC and some of these whales out there. And you said that, hey, this is like Michael Lewis, Big Short, and how this is just, the high end just crumbling down and we're going to see more. Could you elaborate more that missed that live stream?
So basically, that some people are wealthy enough in the hobby to prop up the thesis around high-end cards. And I can't disclose what I know, but most people would be disgusted if they knew what happened with the Luca Logo man at PWCC. So if you looked at this most recent PWCC auction was staggering on multiple levels, okay? Because you clearly had this one guy, Nick Fiorello, who emerged from the swamps of Florida, okay? We're not talking blue blood, Wharton, Carlisle, PE money. We're talking an insurance broker who got successful selling car washes. Kudos to him. I've got nothing against him, but he clearly plowed like $15 million into this market over like a 18-month period. And what it looked to have happened was he brought on some partners and they stored everything in the PWCC vault. When you store something in the vault, whether it's for sale or not, they give you credit. It looks like they went on another spending spree based on the cards and the value and the value that PWCC had assigned to them. And I think PWCC said, hey, guys, you're over leveraged, okay? Due to the market correction, we've lent you, you've got $5 million worth of cards that you bought. We valued them at $10 million. We lent you $5. They're now worth $5. Okay. So we now own the cards. Okay. You gave them to us at a $10 million valuation. We then lent you $5. They're now worth $5. So there are cards. So we're going to sell them. That's what I'm thinking happened. And maybe it wasn't him, and maybe it was a handful of other people. The point was that PWCC flooded the market in an unprecedented fashion with a number of one-of-ones and one-of-tens that we like. Usually, like, the decorum in the hobby is like, hey, like, let's trickle this shit out. Who knows what kind of debt PWCC has on their books? They built the vault, right? What did that cost them to build? $8 million? Do you know how much money $8 million is if you're taking a 20% VIG? How many cards you have to sell to pay the note on an $8 million vault, whatever the hell it was, right? So PWCC is getting pressure from their borrowers. So they're putting pressure on their lenders, and they're like, yeah, we're selling these cards. Like, unless you want to wire us the money, we're selling the cards. Okay. Well, then all of a sudden, there's this huge scare signal of like, yeah, some of these pretty big, bullish, and very talkative collectors are now selling. That's not good. That doesn't make me feel good in my stomach. But guess what? It doesn't take that much money or that many people to prop up those values. So I think that like the Luka and a bunch of the one-on-one Mahomes, if the public knew who won those cards, they would be like, yeah, this is a disaster. This is an unmitigated disaster.
All I could say is, based on what you're saying, is I've seen Sotheby. Someone sent me an article about the owner of Sotheby, and I think it was the owner that bid up some of the prices, and he actually owned the art auction. I'm not saying that happened with PWCC, but
well, that's the issue. And whether it was Brent and Betsy or whatever, a lot of these marketplaces, they've created wealth in their ownership group. And like, guess what? If you've been telling people, hey, you know what? You should be buying Logo Men. Hey, you should be buying these national treasures to bid up. You know, you're giving people this confidence. And then all of a sudden this auction happens and you're like, oh shit. Like, guess what you're going to do? If you've got the cash, right? What are you going to do? Do you want to look like how many angry texts do whether it be eBay cards or whether it be Heritage or Golden or REA or whomever it is, all those people, I've got all their phone numbers. If someone had prompted me, thankfully they know I'm not an asshole and they know I'm not an idiot, and I'm not going to buy a Zion Williamson National Treasures of 99 for $250,000. They know not to come at me with that. But imagine if I did, and I'm seeing the Luka Logo Man dying on a vine at $1.7 million. I'm texting all of them, and I'm saying, what did you get me into? What did you get me into? And I think that's what happened in this PWCC auction, is that it wouldn't shock me if people from Golden, if people from Heritage, if people from REA, it wouldn't shock me let's put it this way. I don't think a single real collector ended up with any of those significant cards. Period.
Yeah, that's my hunch as well. And you made some interesting points on your last live stream that it seemed that the other auction houses, big ones, I didn't see Golden selling these type of cards. It was only PWCC. And I'm thinking long term. I don't know the financial status of PWCC, but if we're ever in a 2008 scenario, I'm just wondering, places with vaults, if people are placing their cards there.
So
I wouldn't want my cards, in some vault,
right,
regardless of any company it is.
Well, hang on. So I will say the vault concept is actually a little bit bastardized. I beat up vaults. Okay. I talk about like, why am I buying this stuff if I can't see it? Look, the vault concept is very real in the high-end art world. Okay. So like that aspect does exist, that there's people who, despite owning 8 homes and having hundreds of thousands of square feet of real estate, they just want it stored somewhere. Okay. And like some insurance companies, they actually require some of this stuff to be stored off site. Okay. So like the vault concept is not unique to cards, and it does have a real place in the collectibles market. The issue was that like when I was, I wheel and deal with all the auction houses. I never like sending them a credit card. I never like wiring them money. I've got a closet full of stuff to sell. So all of a sudden I'm winning stuff, and I'm like, hey, look, here's a list of stuff that I want to send your way. And they're like, okay, current value is 100,000. We're going to give you 20,000 of credit. I'm like, what? You used to give me, like, because it's me, you're used to give me 1-to-1 credit. Okay. And industry standard was 2-to-1. So if I bought something for 50,000, I would send you $100,000 worth of stuff, and I was good. Okay. Now, despite the good terms I had, they cut me down to like 20%. So if I bought something for $50,000, I had to send them $200,000 worth of stuff. And I'm like, this is really odd. Like a couple of these auction houses don't have a ton of confidence in the market. The difference was PWCC. PWCC never really changed their stance of lending you 50 cents on the dollar of current value. Well, the problem with a lot of these high-end cards is that like current value is pretty hard to judge and put a real number on. And so that's where I think PWCC was uniquely exposed. And that's why I think we saw their sewer pipe break, right? Like they just had a bunch of sewage backing up their toilets and they had to get it out of their system. Whereas I do think that some of the other auction houses, I had seen the pushback from them months ago when I was trying to send them stuff to sell.
Okay. Yeah, those are